would like to state our position on the statement made yesterday by the Cabinet Secretary touching on the state of the mining industry and the proposed changes into the regulations. The industry would wish to state that we have demonstrated goodwill and will continue to find mechanisms to work with the government to promote the growth of the mining industry in the country. In the recent past, since the appointment of the Honorable Balala, we have had formal engagements, including a workshop on the mining bill, regular roundtable meetings to flag and discuss pertinent issues touching on the mining industry. We therefore find the pronouncements made by the Cabinet Secretary yesterday, which although meant for the good of the industry and the country, have gone against the spirit of collaboration between the industry and the government. The perception that the industry is only interested in exploiting the mineral resources of the country is erroneous, as has been demonstrated by our commitment to find mutual and beneficial points of engagement around the promotion of the industry, community participation, resource sharing within the context of the devolution. In the Cabinet Secretary's statement, he flagged licensing procedures, royalty rates, licensing fees. The industry wishes to state the following. Under licensing, there exist procedures for licensing in law which are meant to protect the interests of the country and the investors. We wish to insist that these must be followed. And while we know that there are licenses issued which are inactive, the revocation or otherwise of any license need to be considered on its own merit and reasons given, as stated in law. In exercising his power as Cabinet Secretary, Honorable Balala has proposed to form a task force to assess the validity of licenses, draft recommendations, and report within 60 days for necessary action. Industry demands inclusion in all entities created to evaluate, assess, and govern the industry within the spirit of the Constitution. Number 2 was the loyalty rates and licensing fees. In determining loyalty rates and licensing fees, the government must take into consideration the impact of the country's competitiveness and attractiveness to both local and foreign investors. This requires exhaustive consultative process with the mining industry players who have demonstrated that they have interest in promoting mutual benefits for the stakeholders. The proposed royalties are out of sync with the international best practice. As far as we know, no country in the world has royalty rates as proposed. The net impact of the proposals will be like killing the cow that produces the milk. The Kenya Chamber of Mines would like to restate that we are committed to the tripartite balance between the government, the investor, and the communities, including the mining industry in Kenya. Our doors are wide open, and we will continue to engage the government and urge the Cabinet Secretary to reciprocate for the good of the people of Kenya.